Hey there lovely people, welcome to your own Unacademy NEET English channel. I'm Dr. Pankhuri Miglani, your biology educator. Well children, it's always lovely to meet you, but as you watch this video today, there are exactly 4 months minus 1 day left in your NEET 2024 exam. Yes, 5th of May is going to change your life and the life of everybody around you forever. So things are serious and it only makes sense to have the correct approach towards your preparation around this time. If not now, then when? Yes, so today I come here with an intent to open up your eyes, open up your hearts and brains, and let you know a must do in your preparation. Well, around this time, all of us have labeled ourselves as my preparation is bad, I'm just at zero. My preparation is somewhere in the middle. Oh, I'm very well prepared. This video is going to serve whatever score you are in right now. Whether you are in 300 to 400 range, you are 500, you are 600, or even if you're 700, this stands tall for each and every NEET 2024 aspirant. Like I said, it's a must do. If you're not doing this, then it is not a preparation for NEET exam. Now boys and girls, we are going to compete with, let's have the real facts on the table. We are going to compete with more than 22 lakh aspirants in 2024. For that kind of a competitive exam, everybody is aware of the syllabus, of the facts, of the right books, etc. Yes, and everybody is aware that in 2024, the syllabus has reduced. Now, I'm going to converge my discussion towards biology, especially botany. We have a total of remaining 16 chapters in botany. A reduced syllabus means that existing chapters have more weightage. Yes, a reduced syllabus means that there is more competition. A reduced syllabus means that every chapter has to be done even more seriously, even more in depth. Now, according to the analysis of previous years, we know that weightage of every chapter is not equal, so is not the size of every chapter, and hence the time given to every chapter. Now, I'm sure all of you are aware of this, that genetics was always a staggering 20%. It always carried the maximum weightage. Then cell division, we just finished cell division on the channel in Game of NEET series, has a 17%. Plant physiology, if you look at the previous papers, 2023-2022, goes to 19%, and this is a predictive analysis, yes, of course following the trend. So, if I take this into account, my question to you is very simple. If you were taking 5 hours to complete a chapter of genetics, cell cycle, plant physio, whatever, do you think now in the month of January, you can still take 5 hours to complete a chapter, be it physics, chemistry, botany, zoology, and then have a very good and fair intent to revise a chapter? Ma'am, I know I have to do 2 NCERT readings. I want to give mock tests. And that's the norm. That's how I win on 5th of May. Well, boys and girls, the preparation from now on moves to something called as the convergence. So today's strategy, I call it the keyhole strategy, if you will, is about telling you that your preparation has to be less of repetition, less of divergence, and more of convergence. You are going to be more and more concise in your preparation to the point, yeah, wishfully I say that if you took 2 hours to do a chapter 6 months before, it should converge to at least 20 minutes now. That is when you prepare for a competitive exam like NEET. Again, the predictive percentage for 2024 for entire biology is right in front of you. I'm going to share all of this in the Telegram group. Please be a part of it. Now, boys and girls, what I've done from my analysis of the question papers which I took up 2020, 2021, 22 and 23. Yes, and a little bit of the idea of probability. These are the respective topics from every chapter. I'm going to be talking about, starting from now, I'm going to be talking about 11th and 12th botany. Specifically, if you do these topics, that's not an if. Oh, I cut. It's not if. You have to, you must do these topics again and again to score 180 out of 180 in botany. The kind of topics I've written, I've also written the number of questions. You can go back and check in the respective previous year papers to give a mental satisfaction that yes, we are on the right path, we heard the correct news. And you have to understand that even if you are a part of a batch, you are a part of the endgame batch. Oh, by the way, endgame batch has started. The much awaited exclusive only English, the best crash course of this country. Yeah, the ultimate crash course as we like to call it. It has started for all the subjects on 2nd of January. Link is given in the description box if you have not joined. It is about the right choice right now that is going to take you to your destination. Alright, so the batch is still open. All the teachers have started with the most important chapters. Yes, the teachers are going to do the chapters from scratch. That is for your understanding. That is to make a network of concepts. But what about your self-study? You guys ask me, ma'am, self-study, do we do self-study? Oh, there is more of self right now than anything else. Yes, revision means this is what you follow. Self-study means when you study NCERT and when you revise the chapter after you've done it with your teacher in the lecture, in the class, you focus specifically on these topics. Your revision time is not a minus even if you're a part of any batch, whatsoever batch. Is that very clear? And if you're still planning to join the endgame batch, please use the code PM1Live so that you get the discount which is available and you don't have to pay the full price. Those of you who still don't know about endgame batch, let me show you the face of it. It's a pretty batch. There I have it. Yes, the NEET endgame batch, boys and girls. These are your favorite teachers, all the NEET experts of this country who have generated multiple ranks in the past and continue to do so passionately and with a lot of expertise. So don't miss the expertise of this team. You know all these great teachers by now, yes? And also, for the first time ever, I've never seen such a discount, such an offer on Unacademy. Since I know Unacademy, there is 45% off. That's a really big discount on almost all, whatever course you choose on Unacademy platform for yourself, for your juniors, for your seniors, for your family. There's 45% off on any batch. You go for Plus subscription, you go for Iconic subscription, whatever it is, 2025, 2024, and you also get free 6 months extra, free 1 month for, of course, for 2024 aspirants. Here also, if you are planning to opt for any course, don't shy away in using PM1Live. Yeah, you use this code and you get the off and the extra months of subscription, and which is beautiful. So guys, this technique that I'm going to tell you, you're already aware of it. Like I said, it's just an eye opener. Okay, So eye openers are very, very important in life at the right time. That is why today I am telling you what to do. Don't worry if you think that, ma'am, we cannot note down what is written, it is not clear, the color is not appealing to my eyes. I will share the PDF. But what I'm saying, you need to listen to it very, very pinpointedly. Now I'm going to start from the very first chapter, Living World, which is over in Endgame batch. You have a question, one question every year. One question is important. Ladies and gentlemen, it was always about quality for such a competitive exam, but now it is also about the quantity. Chapters are less, okay? The weightage, the number of questions are still the same. The paper still carries the same marks, yes? And the chapter number has become concise. So for Living World, I don't want you to do anything but just a very analytical study like we did in Endgame about the defining features and characteristic features. I want you to just know the hierarchy, just know what is happening at the species level, genus level, order level. I want you to know the Carolus Linnaeus's binomial nomenclature. Aids are pretty much out of syllabus, but we still should have an idea. That's why I spoke about the taxonomical aids in the batch, about what is key and what are the modern methods. Now we go on to biological classification. This is the next chapter that I am doing. I've started that chapter. Now, boys and girls, when I write two questions, please understand it can be +1 or -1. Alright, so here I have specifically chosen and written for you that examiner likes to ask the general features of Monera. We're not going into individual life cycles, we're not going too much detail into the reproduction, but how bacteria are very special and different, you know, the prokaryotic cell structure. The mesosomes, all of that, yeah, how the cell wall is different, how the cell membrane is, all of that will be asked here. Then he loves, there is no paper of NEET or any medical entrance exam which has ever skipped kingdom fungi. Not one, you can expect 2 questions as well. Other than that, I've seen them liking diatoms, dinoflagellates, euglena, because these are special organisms, right people? And then we are going to be talking about, we will go to morphology of flowering plants. Don't worry, you can write with me or you will get the PDF also. But understand, you are already familiar with these topics. In morphology, please don't have a confusion about the modifications not being in new NCERT. To be very honest with you, I am tired of this query. Ma'am, it is not a new NCERT, so this will not be asked. There is absolute no coherence at many places between what is given in NMC notice and what is given in new NCERT. You ask me about families. Do you think new NCERT has crucifery family? New NCERT has even Liliaceae family? No. Or Malvaceae family? No. But it is there in the NMC notice. So kindly equip yourself right now by doing a little bit of extra, then regretting later. Don't be in a fool's land, okay? You have to be smart. So vegetative modifications, we have done this chapter. We will do it in Endgame also. We've done in Game of NEET also. So vegetative modification of root, stem and leaf, old NCERT. You can refer to my notes also. There is no medical entrance exam, I repeat, which has ever skipped the topics of estivation and placentation. I've been singing this song since forever. Okay, estivation, placentation, symmetry of the flower. I also solved previous year questions in the special class to tell you how much examiner likes to ask about actinomorphic, zygomorphic. So do that. And the position of the floral parts, hypo, peri, epi, and floral families. So this year you have 7 families. So this chapter was very scary for most of the students. It is not. If you have not watched the lecture available on the channel, there is a one-shot lecture on this very channel that you're watching right now. Subscribe to this channel. More of one-shots, every subject, super amazing. Yeah. And in Endgame, we are doing the chapter in a detailed manner, not one-shot manner, of course, to cater to all those people who cannot assimilate a chapter in one go, which is very okay. In fact, I'm going to tell you something, a few chapters where perhaps all of you should attend one shot also, and a must detailed segregated chapters. Yes, we'll speak about that. Now comes anatomy of flowering plants, gets you 4 questions surprisingly. You know, I was looking at the previous year papers. Not only the difficulty level of the questions suddenly in anatomy becomes moderate to difficult every year. The examiner is like me. Yeah, he somehow loves the organ anatomy and secondary growth. Secondary growth is out of the syllabus. Still, I'm still not okay with that. Yeah, but yes, you can focus on tissue system. Now, I've just written tissue system. If boys and girls, if you are writing with me, because anyways I'm speaking in detail and slowly, kindly write that in tissue system, he has a tendency to ask about the types of vascular bundles, you know, wherein we speak about open and closed vascular bundles, yeah, radial and conjoint vascular bundles. Anyways, that is applied in dicot and monocot anatomy. The way I taught you anatomy, that you compare, it is comparative anatomy that he's more interested in, because here he can confuse you, right? How a dicot root is different from monocot root, how a dicot root is different from dicot stem. So goes for the leaf. Do it that way and your chapter is done. But I'm thinking, if secondary growth is gone, would he reduce the number of questions, or would he, you know, suddenly the anatomy, organ anatomy gets a weightage of 2 MCQs, which was 1 or negligible earlier. Now we move further to the very important unit. You saw that it has a weightage of 17%, 17 to 18% about the cell. I just did cell cycle, yeah, on the channel, just did cell cycle, which is a super important chapter and confusing for people. I've tried my best to clear it out. Watch that lecture and let me know in the comment section. Cell cycle, as concise as it is, has 4 to 5 MCQs year on, yeah. Every year 4 to 5 MCQs, and the examiner is not really changing this pattern, yeah. So mitosis, he will definitely ask a question. He tends to ask something confusing in prophase, or he definitely touches anaphase. Yes, so anaphase, prophase, and then prophase 1 of meiosis, all of that, zygo, lepto, pachy. Of course, the order is lepto, zygo, pachy. So do those very nicely. I have given superb and amazing images with every phase, explained it to you. Watch that lecture. Definitely 2 MCQs from prophase 1, and then what I've written is comparative meiosis 1 phases. What does this mean, ma'am? Well, after prophase 1, you must have seen me. For every phase, I'm comparing it with the phase of mitosis. Meaning, if I'm doing metaphase 1, you cannot but compare it with metaphase of mitosis. Yeah, so that is the way he will ask the question. How is metaphase 1, that is metaphase of meiosis 1, different from metaphase of mitosis? So, people, you know, when there are so many aspirants, there is no age limit. Yes, I am speaking a lot of reality right now, but that is to, again, to give you a check. And this is the right time to give you a check. Alright, so when there are so many aspirants and there is no age limit, and everybody has access to all the wonderful teachers, and the competition is so much, you have to understand what the examiner wants. What does he do? What is he trying to check? And that is why it is not just mugging up the phases as they are. Okay, anybody can do that. So this is what you do. Cell chapter is so easy and so rewarding. It has a weightage of 3 to 4 MCQs. Here he will never skip endomembrane system. He will never. So when you're revising the chapter, endomembrane system should be your focus. Talk about Golgi, talk about ER, their individual functions, their uniqueness, lysosomes, vacuole, structure of cell wall, fluid mosaic model of cell membrane, and you're done. That's all. That's all you need. And then we speak about plant physiology. Now I'm very excited to see what happens this year. Yeah, 2022, I was very happy. It was a very good botany paper. This year, we don't have two major chapters in physiology, that is transport and mineral nutrition. Now, the examiner will not reduce the weightage of plant physiology. He cannot, because human physiology already has a very heavy weightage. So, in plant physiology, more number of questions for photosynthesis, respiration and plant growth was always a very heavy chapter. Again, since last 2-3 years, for MCQs. Yeah, this is the next chapter. That is why I chose this chapter. And of course, you guys have been asking for it. Plant growth hormones, I'm doing on 11th of January at 5 p.m. on your own Unacademy NEET English channel. Do attend that session. So, here, can't say this. I don't have to tell you that do the growth curves, which are very easy. Growth curves we do in ecology also, isn't it? So, functions of each hormone, ma'am, is confusing. It is very confusing for me. So, we'll make it easy, yeah? Auxins, ghrelins, how are they different? And the examiner is really fond of asking the commercial uses. How do humans use the hormones for their own purpose? And photoperiodism at a very brief and basic level. Alright? And then your respiration in plants. Okay, let me take photosynthesis first. Photosynthesis in plants. Now, there is nothing you can leave from these chapters, isn't it? So, almost everything I have written. Yes, I have not written the factors affecting photosynthesis, because the idea was, again, the idea is to converge. It is convergence. Alright. So, if you take 3 hours today to revise photosynthesis and it remains as 3 hours before you go to the exam center, bacha, no, not happening, not done. Yeah. So, if you want to revise the chapter in 20 minutes, light reaction, Z scheme, Kelvin cycle, very nicely, and you can stick to NCERT. See, in photosynthesis and respiration, these are two chapters where the question is never outside NCERT. But why we get stuck is we are not able to decode the mechanics of these reactions as they are given in NCERT. Because NCERT just states the mechanics, the steps very factually. So then you need the teacher to decode the mechanism and perhaps go in little more detail. Alright? But that is one step, initial step, which you will get in your respective batch. You will be taught. But when you revise, yeah, you are again fixing yourself to how much is in the syllabus. C3, C4 comparatively. The difference between C3, C4. And automatically when you go to discuss the difference between C3, C4, photorespiration is the biggest thing. Now, photorespiration, you just stick to NCERT. Yeah, you understand at a broader level, that is okay, how photorespiration happens, but questions will be from NCERT. I see this confusion a lot. Even if the teacher is trying to teach you in detail, that is so that you don't have to mug up things. Come to respiration quickly. Respiration, glycolysis, Krebs cycle. Oh, so many questions from glycolysis, isn't it? And electron transport chain. I think from the inception of medical entrance exam, these topics have been important. Now let's talk about, we are in class 12th. Congratulations, we have done class 11th. Sexual reproduction in flowering plants, 3 to 4 MCQs. We have done the chapter, very first chapter on this channel in Game of NEET series. Well, you know it, structure of both the sporophytes. I cannot ignore a question from anther and ovule. Gametophyte development, embryo sac, pollen grain development, why not? In fact, he has started giving both the development in one question just by asking which of the following statements is true or simply match the following. The pattern of the paper these days is beautiful. Then comes pollination. Kindly stick to NCERT in pollination. Okay, the examples given in NCERT, the facts given in NCERT are more than enough. Double fertilization is very easy. Yeah, triple fusion and syngamy. And the seed part, monocot and dicot seed structure, the differences you have to do, which you do in morphology also. So when one topic is asked in 2 units, it automatically gains importance. Now let's talk about, we can go directly to PIV. I am telling you genetics here. I'll not be talking about biotechnology. Before you put that in the comments section, biotechnology is dealt in zoology or botany. It's a generic chapter. If you look at the previous year papers 2023, especially 2022, biotechnology questions were in the zoology section. So examiner never marks a line in biotechnology. I'm leaving it for zoology. But I'll talk about genetics. Yeah, principles of inheritance and variation. Now people, things are very, very serious. 7 to 9 questions. In fact, 9 questions were asked last year just from molecular basis of inheritance. Okay, these chapters don't have any scope of leaving even one word. I repeat, everything in PIV, principles of inheritance, molecular basis of inheritance, have to be chewed, understood, eaten, digested and done. Nevertheless, I have sorted the topics out for you again as a reminder. Well, PIV, dihybrid cross, the exceptions, codominance, incomplete dominance, if anything is left and it rings a bell, very good. Do that. Do everything. Multiple alleles, I want you to specifically study about the blood grouping system. Okay, Morgan's experiment, pedigree analysis, yes ma'am. Yeah, genetic disorders, chromosomal disorders as well as the Mendelian disorders. Extremely important. Let's go to molecular basis. Beautiful chapter, the most beautiful chapter of your syllabus. If you're not in love with this chapter, then I don't know if you understand what love is. Structure of DNA. Avery's, Griffith's experiments, all those experiments. Replication, transcription, translation. Needless to tell you, not 1, 2 MCQs and such beautiful processes. Absolutely amazing. And Lacoperon. Find a paper where you will not find a question from these topics ever. Things are not going to change for your year of exam, whether you like it or you don't like it. It is not about fondness right now. Human Genome Project, HGP, DNA fingerprinting, these 2 topics together furnish 1 MCQ every year. And this year again, they can furnish 1 MCQ each. Alright people, this was 9, I've still written 7. This was 9 question in 2023 or 2022. Yeah, so 7 to 9, let's write 7 to 9 questions. That's a huge weightage. Now let's talk about ecology. Ecology has lost weightage over the years, but still remains a major chunk. This year, we have a lot of deletion in ecology, but certain topics will always be the star of the show. If I talk about organism and population, 2 MCQs I'm expecting. Well, abiotic factors are out of the window, responses are out of the window, which used to be very nice. Now it is about population attributes, wherein you will speak about all those population growth curves, the growth models. I in my mind don't see a paper without asking about the curves, their formula, their shape, their conditions. We've done that in the Avengers batch. Growth models, like I said, population attributes, right? Then population attributes, you need to have the in-depth understanding of the density, population density and the factors affecting and the equations. Population interactions, oh, it can be, things can change this year. If there are 3 MCQs, mind you, 2 MCQs will be from attributes. If there are 4 MCQs, there will be 3 MCQs from attributes. Especially if I tell you the competition. Competition is one interaction that gathers that is liked by the examiner. But yes, I've seen questions on parasitism also. All the interactions, commensalism, amensalism, everything has to be done. Okay, now let's talk about ecosystem. Lot of chunk is deleted. Well, the functions of ecosystem, you should know decomposition. Very important here. Decomposition, he loves to ask. Productivity, primary, secondary, food chain and food web is a very, it includes the concept of energy flow. Eltonian pyramids, very, very important. Yeah, you can't. And in population attributes, yes, we have to do the age pyramids. Every paper, every year asks a question either from the age pyramid or Eltonian, what are Eltonian pyramids, ecological pyramids, or even both, right? Now we come to biodiversity and conservation. Now people, if you ask me, I somehow feel that biodiversity and conservation suddenly is going to gather a lot of weightage this very year. This chapter had a weightage equal to ecosystem or less than ecosystem every year. But since there is no content deletion in biodiversity this year, everything is intact. I am expecting maximum number of questions from this chapter. I've written everything. Can't help it, because this chapter is already very, very concise. Yeah, magnitude, you have to learn the data. Levels of biodiversity, very easy. Introduction of the chapter. Patterns of biodiversity, was, is, will be important. Importance of biodiversity, sort of an understanding. Causes of laws of biodiversity, that is your evil quartet. Evil quartet, yeah, every year examiner's favorite question, remains favorite question. Then reasons to conserve biodiversity, yeah, the narrow, broad, methods to conserve, examiner's favorite, a must do, methods to conserve biodiversity. So guys, this is the botany short topic list to score 180 out of 180. Remember, one keyword of today's session was to converge. Kindly, it is a request from my side that you cannot repeat a chapter again and again and lose out time on another chapter which is waiting for you to give it attention. You cannot spend 5 hours on photosynthesis again and again. From 5 you have to go to 3, you have to go to 2, you have to go to 20 minutes. And in order to do that, understand, assume, listen to the lectures very carefully, that you have a basic knowledge, you've laid the foundation. Give yourself some credit and focus on these topics and pay attention to these topics when you're solving MCQs. When you're solving MCQs and a question is from this topic, it should make you alert automatically. Remember that all these tips and techniques are every day shared by every teacher in their endgame batch. And don't miss out on something that is so rarely available for NEET aspirants. Yeah, this could change your journey entirely, isn't it? So that was about it. I hope you like this strategy. If there is any confusion, let me know in the comment section, and let me know if any one of these chapters that we just discussed are already perfect in your preparation, and you feel that you're already at the time zone of 15 to 20 minutes, you've already converged to that point. Yeah. Thank you very much. Take care of yourself, and I will see you very, very soon.